And welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzogoose, back with you for another review. This is the final part of the Trial of Jean Grey, Guardians of the Galaxy, number 13. This is the culmination of everything that started since the Shi'ar came and kidnapped Jean Grey and took her back to space to put her on trial for the acts that future Jean Grey, or the present Jean Grey that is now deceased that we know, committed when possessed by the Phoenix Force. Technically, it wasn't her, it was a clone of her and all this stuff. But at one point, she did have the Phoenix Force because that story was, I don't know, originally it was supposed to be Jean, then it was retconned to be a clone, and then she had the Phoenix Force again, then Rachel, and yada yada yada. Anyway, the point being, the Shi'ar wanted somebody punished, so they took young Jean Grey from the past and decided this is the last of the Grey line, except for, of course, Rachel, and decided to take her out, which resulted in the Guardians of the Galaxy getting involved, the X-Men getting involved, the Starjammers show up, and the previous issue, which was all new X-Men, we saw the big battle between the Imperial Guard and those collective forces. So this issue picks up there at the end of all new X-Men. It had Jean Grey saying, "I'm a monster." So we kind of assume she's turning herself in. This issue, which by the way is beautifully illustrated, very well written in my opinion, sees Jean do something unexpected. And minor spoiler here, she does not develop the Phoenix Force. She develops a new power, a new psionic power that combines her telekinesis and telepathy together. It makes her this giant pink being that can basically wipe out anybody, just like she had the Phoenix. I mean, she was taking out Gladiator, and the battle continues, and she's like, she was thanking them for showing her what she became, so she'd know to safeguard against that in the future, and so on and so forth. So by the end of this event, the trial of Jean Grey, we see the Imperial Guard confronted by young Cyclops, who says, "You come near us again, I'm gonna kill you. I mean it. You come near us, you've seen what we can do in one day with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Starjammers, and the X-Men. Next time, I'll bring the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, I'll bring every force on Earth against you. Don't ever step foot on the planet again." And it was like, wow, that's pretty bold. But then, okay, we all know that Cyclops is going off with Corsair. That's his father. We know he's getting his own series, so this is not really a spoiler. Cyclops at the end of this decides to leave with Corsair. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, you just threatened the entire Imperial Guard, the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, this humongous force, gladiators like Superman, and you threaten them with death if they ever come to the planet, and then you decide right in front of them, "Oh, I'm not going back to Earth." Okay, that part made no sense to me. Whatever. That aside, I thought it was a fitting conclusion. I saw some dissent about the issue, about people not really liking the ending and everything. I don't see how it could have gone any other way. What did people expect Jean Grey to be put to death, put in jail, in prison? What? I think it ended the way it was supposed to end. It was just a mini crossover between all new X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't a big event or anything, so I really don't get what people expected from that. I honestly don't. I think it was a fitting end. I think it was the end that we needed to see. We got to see Jean Grey develop a new power and change and grow to become her own character, as opposed to just becoming the Jean Grey that we all knew. And we see Cyclops kind of come into his own and go off and do his own thing. And now it kind of leaves us with the question, okay, well, what's going to happen to the all-new X-Men? Now X-23, Laura, is part of them, and she's conflicted as Cyclops leaves and everything. And the Imperial Guard, that's going to open up this whole other can of worms with the Imperial Guard and the Guardians of the Galaxy in that title. So it's leaving repercussions in both titles and springboards us into future stories. So personally, I really like the issue. I think it was a fitting end. I'm going to give this issue a 4 out of 5 for Guardians of the Galaxy number 13, the end of the Trial of Jean Grey. The overall event, the overall story, crossover, whatever you want to call it, I'm giving a 4.5 for the Trial of Jean Grey. I personally really enjoyed it. I know some others didn't. That's fine. I think it was very well written. I think there was characterization all over the place. Lots of great interactions between these various teams and characters and everything. A lot of humor, a lot of action, a lot of drama, stunning artwork. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for the Trial of Jean Grey, and a 4 out of 5 for Guardians of the Galaxy number 13. That's going to wrap up this review. Check out all the other reviews here on Comic Frontline, from comics to games to movies to TV to toys to whatever, what have you. Check out our April Fool's edition of the live show that we did. It was a half live show that we did last night. Media Madness Tonight, doing Aliens. And don't forget to check out comicrelated.com and comicfrontline.com. Both together your number one source for all your comic news, reviews, podcasts, and so much more. Listen to the Zone 4 podcast each and every Friday right here on Comic Frontline. And next week will be our anniversary episode. We delayed it for a week for various reasons. So this week will be a regular episode of Zone 4 with myself, John Wilson, Carrie Kelly, and Frank Rayner. So it's going to be a great episode. And next week for the 5-year anniversary, big celebratory, massive episode with lots of things going on and frontliners involved. So, with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.